Is Atlanta Reign on the verge of becoming a dynasty? A franchise that has made a point of laughing in the face of overwhelming odds is now the one with the last laugh. A franchise that was most known for being the one to upset and gatekeep is now welcoming all challengers for its crown. For the first time in Overwatch League history, Atlanta Reign is a major title holder. Is this the start of an Overwatch League dynasty? Without being picky on the semantics, a dynasty in Overwatch League would usually mean the winning of two major titles. Lunatic Hyde did it in the Apex era of the game's history, winning Season 2 and defending their title in Season 3. The San Francisco Shock was the first to nearly redefine this colloquial definition, winning the Overwatch League title in 2019 in resounding fashion and defending its post come 2020. This is where the Atlanta Reign steps in. It's high time we admit that Midseason Madness, an international double elimination LAN, should be weighed more than staged titles of the past. On this sliding scale of prestige, the Midseason Madness sits somewhere in the middle, and, well, if you left it up to us, it would sit shoulder to shoulder with a world title. But maybe you don't agree. So to address the doubters, still reeling perhaps from the Reign's underperformance at the 2023 Pro-Am, the Pro-Am was a domestic pre-season exhibition and at best a litmus test to set expectations for mid-season. And as we compare the 2023 Reign to some of the greatest squads in Overwatch history, there is one attribute that tangles them all together: the ability to be meta-proof. So let's start with the obvious parts first. We've seen Fielder play like an all-star for years, and for parts of it, he has battled high latency and still managed to outperform and outclass a sizable portion of his peers. Chio is shown to be an absolute bulletproof support player, but did we also forget that they are both defending champions? Next, let's tackle the DPS discussion. Starting with Lip. Not only is Lip the best Sombra in the world, as we've been consistently reminded through the run-up to Midseason Madness, but lest we forget how strong he was on Sojourn and Tracer in the past. Last year, Lip improved drastically and ended the season as one of the better Sojourn players in the world. And when it comes to Tracer, 2021 saw him lead the league, albeit with a relatively small sample size to compare to. Standing beside Lip is Stalker. Not only is Stalker in the discussion for the most mechanically gifted Tracer player in the league, but he's also top of the table in most Mei statistics. If that already seems like an odd hero pool to pull from, let's also remember that Stalker cut his teeth in the Overwatch contenders, playing quite a bit of Genji for Seoul Dynasty's academy team, Genji Esports. So when the meta changes, you can pretty much guarantee Stalker knows the way. Rounding out the roster, we have the perfect mix of tanks. Hawk has been criminally slept on since his debut alongside the Atlanta Reign in 2020, and can pilot far more than your traditional flex tank hero pool. And leading the team stands rookie phenom Donghak. He is easily the frontrunner for the Alarm Rookie of the Year award, and deservedly so. Past that, he's competitive with some of the best Winston players in the world and has been commended by experts on his Wrecking Ball performances in the past. This team looks at the Overwatch roster and laughs. Atlanta can and should be expected to do it all. There is, however, one quickly approaching problem that could jeopardise its future as a dynasty, with the announcement that the back half of the 2023 Overwatch League season will not only feature a brand new support hero for players to get their heads around, but will also introduce a new core game mode, Flashpoint. So there's a chance this could balance the odds somewhat. Strangely enough though, all these changes in the middle of a major esports season, if anything, puts Atlanta in as one of the most prepared teams in the league, thanks to a support duo who can argue they've been here and done it all before. Both Fielder and Chio had to wrap their heads around Kiriko for the 2022 Overwatch League playoffs. The former ended up quick to the button and was a massive part of assisting the Dallas Fuel on their championship run. But let's be honest, running through that roster breakdown, you thought we forgot Vigilante, didn't you? But no, between Fielder's experience and Vigilante's mechanical prowess, they should be able to keep the roof from blowing off the Reign's growing empire. Better yet, if the Meta Casino rolls into a double flex support composition, Atlanta might even increase their power level beyond what we've seen so far. To be clear though, we're not comparing apples to oranges. We have no idea how Hero 38 is going to play, but the Reign supports have already played out this scenario in the past, and stepped up in a big way. All that said, we can't rule out the chance that Flashpoint will throw everyone in the league for a loop, much like Push did last year. In theory, that would mean a soft reset for everyone and the potential for it to play a larger role in teams that need that extra control map to end the set, which Atlanta has not in the slightest. Not only does Atlanta not need a double dip on their control prowess, but it's actually the only map type the Reign looked even remotely mortal on during the regular season, losing one map to the Outlaws and the Uprising respectively. So, are we witnessing the foundation of a new Overwatch era? The safe answer, obviously, is that we can't be sure just yet. If we asked the same question last year with the LA Gladiators after their mid-season win, well, we'd have got quite a lot of egg on our face. Placing your house on the winners of Midseason Madness would undoubtedly be, well, madness. But here's some food for thought. Was the Gladiators' Midseason Madness run even remotely as one-sided as Atlanta's was? Leading up to the offline playoffs this last week, nearly every pundit and expert agreed that Atlanta was the favourites to win the Midseason Madness title. And leading up to the grand final, it was unanimous. Atlanta were going to win handily. The team had beaten the Houston Outlaws at every turn, once to qualify for the event and again earlier in the tournament, and nothing was different now. The Atlanta Reign waltzed through this event with little to no resistance, and with the forecast placed before you, can you really argue there's anything but blue skies ahead for the Reign? The team has more than enough star power to punch with the best players in the world. They've been flexible enough to look dominant in all roles through the first half of the season, and to top it off, they are uniquely prepared for the incoming changes headed down the development pipeline. And if you still doubt it, ask yourself this: who in the league would you pick to match their flexibility and their mechanics? No one has been able to hold a candle to the inferno raging in Atlanta right now. The 2023 Reign is a special team, one that houses true championship DNA. A new dynasty may well be upon us. From a potential new dynasty to lost potential. Stay with us and check out this video as we say goodbye to the Chengdu Hunters.